Hey everyone, and welcome to Imperfect by Design free Masterclass. My name is Shamika, or you can call me Mika, and I created Imperfect by Design to help show you that you are perfectly designed. In today's society, we rely on other people's picture perfect lives to determine what success, happiness, or wealth actually looks like. Every day we go online and accept edited trends as factual fiction. From filters to photoshops, we see others' perfect imperfections and accept them. And without even noticing, we can become envious of them. How many followers they have, who like their pics. I'm sure you have seen relationships start and end based on social media profiles of a factual fictional character. We say she is beautiful or they are relationship goals, but we forget the grass is greener philosophy and chalk up our own insecurities as to not being enough or what we have to offer as not being worthy. All right. Hey, well, this is Sue. Sue is an entrepreneur and a DIYer. She creates her own websites, designs her own campaigns, and manages her companies all by herself with only a little help from a part time employee. Sue has tons of innovative ideas and thoughts, but she just never has the time to get them implemented. Sue also has a full time job and a family. Sue is also super stressed. Does Sue remind you of someone? All right. So as an entrepreneur, you have so many pegs, spikes, spokes, wheels turning in your business. And whether or not you are just getting started or you're a seasoned vet, you will always have questions like, how do I start or grow my brand? Where or how should I be marketing? How do I turn all these followers into actual paying customers? How to organize all this content and what am I doing wrong? Maybe where can I get some help? But honestly, it's impossible to know what you don't know. Just in case you're wondering why this should be important to you right now, or a better question, what are the cues that let me know I'm ready? One, you have an existing content or an expertise and you know you should be monetizing it, but you're not sure how to get started. Excuse me. Maybe you're not sure where your niche is exactly and you need help setting up your business from scratch. Or maybe you no longer want to be the unsuccessful DIY entrepreneur and understand the power in the team. It's possible you have hit a plateau and want to grow your business and scale up. Or maybe you're stuck on the hamster wheel. Scaling would be great if you could just get started. That would actually be better. With this being a world of free content, organizing it seems like a puzzle with no box. There are no clear directions posted, and going it alone had me 2 years in and no closer to my goals. You know you have enough information, but how much do you give away? Raise your hand if you have asked yourself, how much do I charge for this or that? How do I charge? How much will my market bear? Or maybe you're just tired of being stagnant. Or more importantly, with where you are right now, how can you learn to love your life? Do you remember when you were a child? You know, when you would think about and dream about that dream bedroom or having the best toys. When you wished you were an adult and you can do all these great things and go on all these wonderful adventures. You took time to daydream and use your imagination. All right, so let's play what if for a sec. So, what if there was actually a way to take all the right steps with little to no learning curves? You knew how to determine what information to use and who your perfect prospects were. More importantly, you knew where to start. You were able to draft a uniquely personalized niche and begin to carve your own custom lane. What if people on social media were one, clicking on your links, two, joining your email list, opting into your webinars or your launches, and scheduling clarity calls with you? What if they were a part of your funnel? What if your business started to increase and your current clients were buying more from you, plus new prospects were being added daily? All right, now that I got your attention, let me tell you a little bit about me. The majority of my income producing background is in finance and real estate. I owned a company called Flappy Taxes and then another one called Selling Upstate. Flappy Taxes I still own and operate. Well, I own it. I don't necessarily operate it myself anymore, but I'm still very hands on and I still pay attention to the business. I've also owned a restaurant, a RDS, which is a restaurant delivery service, kind of like what Uber Eats is of today, but this was about 15 years ago. I own a web design firm, online marketing agency, whoops, my bad, an event service. I'm also a notary, a public speaker, and more importantly, and where you're concerned, I am an accountability coach. All right, so I guess I was getting excited. So let me tell you some more about me. So I work from home. Well, I used to work from home every day, and I had gotten way too comfortable with my life. My eating habits had pretty much gone in the toilet, and while my general home life was okay, my personal internal compass, it was going a little haywire. Without knowing, and most definitely without understanding, I found myself in a state of depression. So after a few years, I crawled out of it and began to rebuild my life. I was exercising, eating healthy, and meditating. I started working on me. I watched this movie and it helped change my life, or, at least my mental mind frame. I hadn't really understood that we actually are in control of it, that the things that we think and pull into our thought processes determine what comes next, how we face situations, determine what happens to us, good, bad, or indifferent. I learned that the universe doesn't decide, you decide, and the universe makes it happen. But once I did that, I was able to triple and even quadruple my personal income. I have also been privileged to work with dozens of private clients, and I've taken them from as little as 20K to over 70,000 and $120,000 annual incomes. So the purpose of Imperfect by Design Masterclass is to share the 5 keys to getting you out of perfection paralysis, how you can adjust your internal mind frame so that your world can reshape to your own desire. I'm going to explain also how you can work alongside me to get your own empire built so you can grow and ultimately scale your brand. So I've helped create dozens of personal brands, online companies, and people who wanted to create other income opportunities for, their downline and their clients. I've helped people do what they love while earning above average incomes and creating residual and even passive incomes. I've helped my clients earn over 120-year base doing what they love when they were just getting started. For over 15 years, I've worked as an entrepreneur and learned how to successfully run, manage, and operate businesses. And then, of course, eventually how to automate them and scale them up. I love to travel and see the world. My kids mean everything to me, and showing them a better life than I had was most important. I have been there for 90% of the time when my kids came home from school. I was making sure I was cooking. And because I can work from home and anywhere, I was still earning money while I was doing everything I was doing with them. I love to learn. I'm always watching others people's webinars and going to networking events, listening to music, audiobooks, and podcasts. And I'm a super gamer. From Call of Duty to Spades, I enjoy competitive first person games with skill and strategy commute. So I have done a lot of things right, but I've still done a lot of things wrong. So today I'm going to give you the tea. My life has been a roller coaster, like most people's. I've had $8,000 years and then $150,000 years consecutively. But in my defense, I've had almost no negative years. Most of my years, my working years, have been profitable. My first attempt at building my brand was decent. I got it started, but I was honestly scared to scale up. I didn't know how to manage employees and how to have people working for me. Like, who does that? I'm, girl from the hood. I don't know how to do those things. And nobody was teaching me. I had motivation, but I had no momentum. I would get up every day. Nobody had to wake me up. Actually, my alarm clock woke me up. I was excited. But when I got there, when I got to the office that I was paying for and, I was doing okay, I didn't know to have employees, or I didn't know how to have employees, or the difference between an employee and an independent contractor. And even though I was and I owned a tax preparer and a tax professional, I hadn't gotten to that state of having them for myself. I knew how to tax, how your tax rates went, but not actually how to literally have them on my team. I had up days where I could generate thousands of dollars and then down months where I could not even get the light bill money. I couldn't seem to stay consistent, so I was stagnant for years. I had decent money, but no real growth. Then I hit some snags. So I had an eye surgery, and there were things going on at home. I was out of school for a year. There weren't any money, no money was being earned. I couldn't go to school. I couldn't work. My eye was messed up. I ate up most of my savings, and I found myself back to my ground zero. So I started to grow selling upstate in '01. I built a 5-figure a month business from income tax, real estate, and university, which was the first course that I created to teach other people how to work from home. I trained at a college and helped 1,500 people learn to work from home. I built the foundation in South Carolina. I had started to build my life back up. And then we moved. So, like I said, I grew in South Carolina, and I was too scared to branch out. So, what I was doing for the first couple of years was driving back and forth down south. I didn't bring anything up here, and I eventually sold off some parts of selling upstate to someone down there who can manage it. It was a 5-figure a month brand. It still is, and it's doing great. I have pieces of it so that I can manage it in the way that I need. It operates the way that I want it to, but now I'm hands off. I don't have to go back down there. I speak to private groups and I do one-on-one coaching, and I build other people's personal brands because that's honestly what I like to do. So I took this part of my company and I scaled it up, and I named it Motivate Many because that's honestly where my heart is, and that's where I am today with you. All right, so shit happens. It's what you do after it and how you clean it up that matters. All right. So Mika, show me how you made 55,000 in 3 months by using social media in these 5 lessons. The easy answer was less posting and more engagement. But the process, experience. You got to test out the waters, start small, and then expand quickly. Make sure you are always learning. You don't have to learn different things. Stay in your niche if you want to, but just learn, grow, produce more, and engage. Action, progression, and consistency are the foundations of what I do on a daily basis. All right, so number 1 is going to be crafting your MVP. You're going to choose 3 specific problems and you're going to drill down. If I haven't said it yet, and I don't think I did, it's time to pick up a pen and paper and just start writing this down. Start getting your thought process going. I like for you to be action based. Number 2 is going to be putting things into perspective. What would you do if you knew you couldn't fail? I love the what if concept, and so I use it a lot. If you're still stuck, I'm going to teach you how to get off the hamster wheel, how to control your 3 Ps. What are the things that define you? And list. Content is key or king, but the money is in the list. All right, you ready? Let's go secure the bag. So number 1 is crafting your MVP. If you don't know what your MVP is, it's your minimum viable product, or some people MVC and minimum viable course. This MVP is going to get you to a place of understanding that, wait, I can do this. So you're going to decide what problems you are solving. You're going to analyze who your competitors are. You're going to define your user flow, list all necessary features and then prioritize them, and then build, test, and learn. Right? So here's the answer to the number 1 biggest problem that I had. When I started flat fee taxes, I was young and I went to do my taxes for the first time. I had 2 children, and you sit there and you give them all your W-2s and you do all this stuff. And long story short, at the end of it, I opted in for the quick money like we mostly do. And I noticed once I got home that there was like $1,000 or so taken out of my check. So when I created flat fee taxes and I went to do my taxes for the first time, I was a mother of 2 kids. So I was told I was going to get all this big money. And then when I got home, I looked at it and, even though I got a few $1,000s, there was still about $1,000 that were missing. So I was wondering and I was looking through the papers trying to figure out where it went. And it went to, these fees for getting what that early money, that loan. So I got the loan and I didn't complain. But after that, I decided that I was going to start a company that was going to help people not have to pay so much money. So in '03, I started Flat Fee Taxes. I started charged $99. Didn't realize how low it really was, but it was $99. I wanted everybody, and I thought it would give me more volume, and it did. It was great. I upped it in 2016 to $4.99. Still way cheaper than most, but I like to keep it. The whole point of me starting the business was so that I didn't put people in a position where we were, draining their pockets. I wanted to still help, and I still do. So instead of raising the price to my clients to my customers, I decided to teach other people how to use this business model. I took it from just a service and created a course from it. So in 2017, we created Flat Fee Taxes course, which is now $14.99. If it was a course in the beginning, I would be good by now. All right, so most people think that you can't charge $500 or more for your online course because it's your first one. Here's what happens when you think like that. You literally diminish your demand and miss out on building a valuable brand. Things cost people. They're not always cheap. And if you're offering up $1,500, $2,000, $500 in value, then that's what you charge. Remember that people will pay you however much you think you're worth. So whether you think you can or you think you can't, I promise you, you're right. Okay, so the secret is that you can price your course at $500 or more if you just price it at $500 or more. There's no secret to that. That's it. You charge what you believe that the quality of the work that you're offering is worth. So instead of I'm creating a course, but I don't know how to price it, then it becomes I'm creating a $500, a $1,000, a $2,000 course. What should it include so that the people who buy it receive that type of value or more than that type of value? Because you should always be over delivering. See the difference? So now you're not saying, oh my gosh, I want to create a course, but I don't know how much to charge. I'm thinking I'm going to just charge $99 because, it's a lot of information, but I don't want to overprice it and I'm scared that no one's going to join versus, look, I'm creating a course. It's $500. I'm going to make sure that these things are included. And if you bought these things elsewhere, each of them would be worth $500 individually. So I know that I'm going to offer 5 things, and these 5 things worth $500 a piece in terms of value and content. Now I'm giving you a $2,500 value for $500, and now I feel good, and then the people who are purchasing from you feel good because nobody is getting duped and everybody is winning, and that's the point. All right, so let's get started. Your minimum viable product. So what will your clients receive? What will that include? So I told you to find 3 things. Find the 3 things that either are your pain points or that you wanted answers to at some point in time, and then decide on what that is. And then you're going to say, okay, out of this thing, this one particular item, let's use, of course, taxes. What was my pain point? It was the price. There's very little things you can do with taxes. But I also know that taxes is about quantity, not necessarily about quality. So what I did was I added quality to my taxes. I made sure that I over delivered. I knew more than enough. I went to so many tax classes. And, before, what is it? I think now it's education. Before education was required, I was making sure that I was more than educated. I have people today who were clients of mine 10 years ago who still are clients of mine. Don't advertise, didn't even know how, but I made sure that they received something that was of more value. They didn't go to someone who just started yesterday, who took a 2-week course and then they were just doing their taxes. I made sure that they understood that me, and of course, eventually, anybody who worked under me or with me knew what they were talking about. Okay. What are the steps required? You can it's okay to have 5 steps. You don't have to have 30 steps. Matter of fact, you should only have 7 or less steps. That's how your course should be laid out. If you have enough information to do 20 steps or 30 steps, that's okay. Take a map, not a literal map, of course. Take a sheet of paper, write A on one side, write B on the other, turn it landscape, Write A on one side, write B on the other. On the A side, tell me where they are. Where are your clients at now? Your potential clients, of course. And on the B side, tell me what your product is going to get them. Where will they be at the end of it? What will they have accomplished? And so that's where you'll get your steps. Once you know what they've accomplished and you know the steps that are required in between to get them, then you can write them. Decide what your rhyme or reason is. Like, what are the logistics behind it? Sometimes there are logistics, sometimes there's not. But decide if they are and then list them. Are you going to be offering coaching? Coaching is a big deal because even though we can give you, all the steps, there is still going to be people like me who can watch somebody's course and still need a little bit of hand holding, still need some, what happens if after the course, I don't know what's going on. It's so well worth giving someone, for someone to give you money to coach them, to train them how to do exactly what you know how to do. So they're not falling off to the wayside or chasing the pretty lights. With all the information that exists, coaching is not even optional anymore. It's kind of mandatory. You get the drift though. You can literally create this tomorrow. The coaching is already inside of you, and the rest of the steps you already know. It's an additional revenue stream, regardless of your business type, e commerce, wellness, taxes, it doesn't matter. Let's create your MVP. What problem are you solving? Start with yourself, your immediate circle, and the things that you deal with every day. Then you go, who is your competition? You're going to search online for your specific keywords, see who comes up. Check out their pages, their websites, go through their funnels, attend their webinars, and go as deep as you need to. You're going to see who are the clients that are going to use your products and services. What are the answers to their questions and problems? And then you're going to get your MVP out there. Okay, so do you see how simple your MVP could be? Simple yet transformational. All right, let's recap. So how did I make over $55,000 in 3 months from social media? I had an MVP to market on social media. That's it. Okay. So what are the problems you are solving? Who are your competitors? Where are your clients that will use your products or service? Answer their questions and tell me, when will you be launching? This is a pretty easy, simple layout that you can do for your MVP. The personas and the platforms, the journeys, the steps, the A to B. What is the vision, the goal that you're looking for? The features that your MVP are going to include. How much is it going to cost, and how often are you going to offer it? Some of us, we offer this twice a year or maybe even three if we push it. And that's mainly because, like I said, the coaching is the where the juice is at. The coaching is where you get the secret sauce. When you can dig deep into the person who is offering up the information, you may not be able to do this viably, sustainably 10 times a year. It may just be something that you do it twice a year, you have 10 clients, and you work diligently with those clients to make sure that they succeed. That's how I do. I like to motivate many. I have a lot of free products and things that's out there, but my clients who work with me, we work closely. We talk a lot. Sometimes, some of us, we talk every day. I may have to open up a room so all of us can kind of come in, like a last minute meeting, just because you have questions and there's a lot of questions going on. And I feel like if you have a question, other people may have this question too. So as long as the question is not specific and personal to you, then we do one-on-one. But if it's something that, we can share with the group, then we do that. And this is how we learn. And this is something we do in the masterclasses as well. So the metrics for your business, hypothesis, validation, how is this going to work out? And of course, your outcome statement. And that's all you really need. People will pay you however much you think you're worth. And honestly, whether you think you can or you think you can't, either way, you're right. So create an MVP to sell for $500 or more, even if it's your first digital product or service. Okay, number 2. What would you do if you knew you couldn't fail? Your point of view, how you look at a situation, the impressions of how others look at you, the railroad tracks, and creating your own lane, and then mapping out that lane. All right, so your perspective. How you look at your situation matters. Changing your perspective and defining that you have a perfect storm. There are always things going on: family, friends, work, personal, internal issues, fear, feeling like no one's going to purchase your product or service. feeling like no one's there for you, like you're doing this all by yourself. There's no support. The people who should be on your team may not be there. Whatever your storm is, that storm is there for a reason. It's meant to change your perspective, your impressions, and how other people look at you. People are going to look at you however you present yourself. So instead of creating some supersized persona, just try being yourself. Your railroad tracks and creating your own lane. You don't need to merge with other people's lanes. We can work together, and you have a lane and I have a lane, and they can be so similar in to us in our minds. But how I teach and how I train and how you teach and how you train can be different. I need you to be able to know that your lane belongs to you and no one else can take it from you. So you're going to map out your plans. What's the outcome? Of course, besides income. And this was just two pictures of perspective that I love. The 6 and the 9 perspective is how a lot of us look at things. We see things from one angle and we don't understand that it's possible that there are other aspects at play. There are other perspectives that exist. Everything is not, the horse with the blinders. Everything doesn't exist in this one perspective world. There are 1, 2, 3, even 20 different ways to look at a situation. And then you find the way that works best for you. Defining your own perspective. Allow yourself to create an ultimate dimension that allows you to make all the rules. What is it that you want? And you will reply, it's not that simple. And I'm like, just tell me what you want. Just tell me exactly what you want. But see what happens, to be honest, people don't always know what they want. How you choose to see things is exactly how they will be. If you don't like what you see, I need you to change your perspective. Perspective sometimes is our own point of view that blinds us. It's the way we see things. I use the picture of me in my car mainly because the windshield versus, the rear view mirror concept. That concept works well in so many things when I'm thinking about life. I need my rear view mirror. It helps me see what was behind me, maybe what's coming or what's past, but it's only a small part of my perspective. My front 2 windows and my windshield show me the mass majority of what's going on right now and what's to come in the future. And you need to be able to remove the blinders and just see the whole picture. Still stuck? All right. Now let's go ahead and get off this hamster wheel. So you're going to choose a destination. You're going to set up a routine. You're going to move from being motivated to having momentum. You're going to bust up the blockade of whatever you're avoiding, and you're going to change your scenery. All right, so this is Lisa. Lisa reminds me of me, except I have 4 kids around me and I was going super crazy. But Lisa defines a lot of us. We're always busy and our hands are full. And so all these things are blocking us and keeping us from doing the things that we want to do. So we get stuck in this mundane, task-filled routine. And we kind of transform that from our home lives, which we may need to be in that way, in that routine, to our business lives, which we probably don't need to be that way, but it's something that we're taught to do it hands-on, to be a part of everything that goes on. So where are you going? You have to choose a destination. We don't get into our cars and just say, drive. We usually know where we're going. And because we know where we're going, we actually reach there. But you can't get into your business and just say drive without a destination. So we need to come up with a destination. The destination doesn't have to be your end result. If you use GPS on your, Google GPS or you'll see that you can add multiple destinations. You don't have to have the first destination, the second destination, the third destination put in. You don't have to have final destination there. You just need the first one. What is the first step? Where are you going right now? The secret is you need a daily action plan that guides you so you're not distracted by the pretty lights. Don't let the pretty lights fool you. They are there for a reason. They are set up strategically, over educating you in the areas you don't need to know. You're overqualified. And yet, and still, the pretty lights still have you looking over there and over there because you don't have a plan. You don't know exactly what you're going to do. There's no guide. The law of momentum is that an object that is in motion will stay in motion until it meets a resisting force. So what you have to do is keep pushing forward. You have to make sure that that goal stays in sight, whether you hang it on your wall, make a vision board, whatever it is, that momentum has to be there. So you can wake up every day and say yes, yes, yes. But if there's no routine and you're not pushing forward and there's no end result, there's no goal or no destination, then it doesn't matter. So bust up the blockade. What are you avoiding? There is a wall that exists right now that are between you and your market. And you're standing there looking crazy and you don't know how to get rid of it. And they're standing there waiting for you because they want what you have. And then, of course, you got to change your scenery. Decide if you're mindful or mindful. Are you paying attention and enjoying the things of life? Because if you're not enjoying life, you're going to have a hard time giving someone more of you because you're empty. Life is meant to be full, even when we're broke, even when everything looks hard. You need to recognize what's going on in your life. You need to relax. I don't want to go to the everything's going to be okay, but everything is going to be okay. Review what's going on right now. See what it is. What I tell everybody, what I tell my clients is you need to take inventory. When something shifts or changes in a way that you're not fond of, in a way that doesn't make you happy, take time to review it. Then once you review it and you see exactly what's going on, you need to then respond, take some action. And then you can return and you can go back to figuring it out and getting back on track. All right, let's recap. So it's not about wanting something. You actually have to do something as well. You have to take action. You can want it, but unless you put a destination and you take actionable steps, you get into your vehicle, which is you in your mind, and you drive there, it's not going to happen. You have to actually do the things. The hamster wheel is definitely real, but you really just need to step off. And I know that is simple and it's, I'm going to say it, but it's not an easy task to accomplish. A lot of us have a hard time on that hamster wheel. So if you still need help, at the end of the webinar, I have a free promo code that's going to offer you 45-minute clarity session with me where you can work on your stuck areas and determine your next steps. Still stuck? Let's get off the hamster wheel. All right, so controlling your 3 Ps. What are the things that define you? So your people. They always say that you are the sum of the 5 people you spend with every day. I'm going to say that doesn't really vary much. But the 5 people that you spend with are honestly your choice. Let's say you're like me and how I was, and 4 of the 5 people I spent with every day were my children. I spent most of my day with them. I didn't have an outside job. I didn't have someplace to go to interact with other people. So a lot of what I did was online. Your people can be the videos you watch. Who inspires you? How often do you get away from TV and into self growth? You don't have to necessarily be around these people. You just have to be able to learn and educate yourself with them. Figure out what they have to offer. Now, yes, you do need to go out and do things, but sometimes that's not always feasible. Going out and do things costs money, but you can grow without necessarily doing a whole bunch of things. Growing out and do things costs time. So, but figure out the people that you're around. And of course, the places. Where is it that you go? Let's say you go out, after work, you need to unwind. Where and how you unwind matters. Where you are on your weekends matter. And your possessions, the things that bind you, that new cell phone that you have to have as soon as it drops, that fly computer or all those great appliances, because you need that, because you need to cook gourmet dinners and you got to watch TV on your big screen and you need that surround sound and those new gadgets and those fly glasses and this and this and it goes on and on. And your possessions control you because did you really need that new cell phone? Could you have not taken that $1,000 and invested it into your education? Could you have not taken that new outfit that you brought and invested it into yourself? Got you something that made long-term value into your life? Those things are important. What are the things that define you? No one can tell you what defines you. No one. They can look at you and see what it is that you're doing and how you're acting. And I would suggest the people who matter to you. Find yourself someone who can hold you accountable, who actually hold you accountable, and let them help you monitor those three P's because they do. Your people, your places, and your things or your possessions are important. Okay? Social media stats, likes don't buy, customers buy. This is a quick bonus, so I'm going to run through this. Most people think that people on social media don't spend premium dollars. They just buy Fashion Nova and that tummy tea and waist trainers. Here's what happens when you believe that. You wind up treating your social media like it's just for family and friends. You're posting all your vacations and your food and your travel, and then you attract the wrong kind of followers, and they're not really customers. They're more like people who enjoy your views. You end up chasing likes instead of actually attracting buyers and customers and clients. Likes don't buy, customers buy. The secret is you can attract your most valuable players on social media if you post true content. T.R.U.E. So, what is true content? True content teaches, it reaches, it's useful, and it's engaging. You need to show them that you are a real person. Be vulnerable at times. There are so many teachers, gurus, trainers, coaches out there. How do you not get lost in the crowd? Be sure to teach your audience something that has actually helped you. They are always looking for real people with real lives, people who look like them and act like them. One of my biggest personal issues when I started was the way I talked and my no BS persona. I thought it would be too much for too many, but it's actually what navigates people towards me. The total opposite of what I actually was afraid of for so long. So now, instead of having enough clients, I have to scale up and help more people. Open yourself up and let them in. Make sure you address your customers' objections. Make sure you address your customers' objections. Yeah, but we all say that. We all have the I don't have enough time to make this happen, or I don't have enough money to do this. Am I really putting my energy in the wrong places? Is this you? Are you talking yourself out of your own blessings or out of your own growth because you're so nervous or scared about what may happen? So you got to do the same things with your clients. You got to make sure you let them know what it is. Potential customers are there, but they all have objections. We all have objections. Know how you can help them achieve their goals and resolve their pain points in real time. You have to give away some of your secret sauce, people. And guess what? It is totally okay. The main point for you should be always, always, always over deliver. And I mean always. I'm always looking for more things to give, more ways to help, more programs to learn from so that I can, in any situation, over deliver. I want to be sure that when you leave from any of my courses or programs, events, when we do masterminds, when we do one on ones, that you are not just wowed, but you are overflowing. So, in order for me to do that, I have to make sure that I am overflowing. So then I'm not holding back. I have more than enough information, and you're not me, and I'm not you. And I can never offer what you offer because what you offer is inside of you. How do you engage? That seems to be an issue for some people. It was an issue for me. Surveys, polls, quizzes, create engaging content. They want to engage with you, but you have to be willing to do it. You see other people, you respond to polls and surveys and quizzes, but for some reason we don't actually want to put it out there. So why are you here? Is it because I'm actually telling or teaching you, maybe sharing something that you're interested in? The things you say, ask, and refer to needs to be targeted, focused and aimed directly on your most valuable purchaser, your unique client avatar, your perfect client, whatever you're calling them. If you want them to engage, you have to say the right things and ask the right questions. So remember these points. Without adapting the true posting principles, you may attract the wrong kind of followers and prospects. All right. So let's get paid. So list. Content is key or, king, however you say it. But the money is honestly in the list. So your content, your blog posts, videos, webinars, your freebies, your landing and squeeze pages, the traffic, the keywords, your SEO, the pitch, which is your webinar where you guest post, the groups, how you become relevant, and your incentives, your bonuses, because you should always be given more than expected. All right, so your blog post, videos, and freebies. Creating content for some is easy, but for most, it's not. Most of us have a hard time just being us, speaking the way we speak, writing out a blog. Some people don't like to write. We don't like to talk. We don't like the way we look on video. We don't know how to make a podcast. Like all these things that bother us. So you have to find one of them. You can choose one and work on it. If you like to write, then do blog posts. If you like to talk, but you don't necessarily want people to see your face, do podcasts. If you're okay with video, create videos because they are honestly the most producing. They produce the most. People want to see for some reason. Webinars are great. I love webinars because, and for me, I like webinars that I can teach with, and I'm always giving away freebies. There's always something free around me. The freebies, the landing page, and your squeeze pages is how you drag them in, how you target them, how they're what it is that you're putting out there that is of tremendous value, but that are going to help the people be guided to your product or service. So you're going to put something out there, like if you're a coach, you're going to put how to become a coach. You're going to give them that. You're going to tell them how to do it. And then you're going to go deeper in your program and, of course, your coaching and show them. So you can tell somebody something or you can show somebody something. So when you tell them through your freebies, your landing page, or your squeeze page, excuse me, they're going to go, this looks nice or this looks interesting. This is where I want to be. So from that, they're going to, of course, join your list. And then you're going to contact them and go, hey, I have this product or this service going on. You should join me. And that's what will happen if what you offer is good. Your SEO traffic and keywords and meta. So there's a search engine whole wheel that exists. And what happens is in order to optimize you, your brand, your company, you need to have traffic and keywords and meta tags. And to be honest, this is not where I dominate at. So what I do is I outsource it. I let someone else handle my traffic, my keywords, and my meta. Traffic, of course, right now, I think Facebook and Google are running things. So that's something that you can do on your own. But if you have a website and you're not sure about how to, research and use keywords, it's okay to let someone else do that for you. That's the thing, about being in a group and being able to outsource and being able to reach out and find other people who do things that you don't do well. And then when you do something well, they can reach out to you and do that as well. Your webinar, your guest posts, and your groups. This is how you become relevant, where you post, where you respond to people, where you let them know what's going on with you. Always giving more than expected is not even an option anymore. In today's society, bonuses and incentives are expected. They are literally required. People look for them. They don't really do much without them. So give them. Create your list. It can be small. You have people who are following you. Ask them. Give them a link. Tell them click here. Try it out. Test it. If all you're doing is building up followers with likes and you're not giving them a way to opt into you, then you're missing out. And then that's not going to happen. And until you know of a way and figure out a way to have them opt into you, literally on your Instagram or your Facebook or your social media, then you can start building up your list. So did you learn how I made $55,000 in 3 months from online courses using social media? You sure learned how to craft your MVP, how to control and manage your perspective, how to get off the hamster wheel if you're still stuck, your people, places, and your possessions, how they currently define you and what to do, of course, to adjust it, and how to create your list, the things you need to add to it, and maybe if take away. where you need to find the avenues to grow them. So, what if you set this up to make your first $2,000 in the next 60 days? Would that make a difference to you? Want to hear how I can help you? Raise your hand. Create a clear roadmap and become accountable for creating your $500 or more offer. Putting your social media to work for you and being profitable in 60 days. Have you been sitting around for 2 years, 3 years, 5 years? How you can work with a course creation and launch expert who can teach you with no email list, meaning I can help you right now, how to make $10,000 in your first 60 days. Would you want to learn how? Raise your hand. Keep it up. How to build a work from anywhere business, how to get paid creating dope content, working with your dream clients without having thousands of followers first. Would you want my help? All right, so here's how we can work together. We're going to create your Imperfect by Design product that's going to be marketed to your social media and be profitable in 60 days. Imperfect by Design is all about helping you launch your MVP as swiftly as possible. It's about helping you price your brand's product or service at $500, $1,000 or more, and attracting the right clients and students. It's about getting comfortable being uncomfortable. These things are going to make you feel uncomfortable. But once you realize that it's just uncomfortability and you're not going to die, you're going to start to lay the foundation for your empire. Do you want to see what's inside? All right. So part one is, of course, the course. It's a step-by-step formula that's going to deep dive into your personal subconscious and pull out the information that's inside of you. It allows you to simply follow along as I walk you through setting up and launching or readjusting your business. You're going to get lessons and tutorials and templates and guides, videos, and more. Okay? You're going to have target topics and titles. You're going to learn who your client avatars are. We're gonna watch you work, which is what I say when you're actually laying down those foundational bricks. Like those bricks are going to. It's kind of like when you break ground on your new home, and you're watching them put that shovel into that first bit of soil. That's the work. We're gonna learn how to do your true content, how to price, and how to create the offers, how to protect your plan, and how to get leads and sales. And of course, because I love bonuses, we're gonna have a week of questions and final walkthroughs. So there's nothing left unturned. Okay, so there's the community. Creating a new group of unique experts and course creators around the country where you can all communicate and join and be a part of something. Now, there's tons of Facebook groups and things like that, so that's not really how my community works. I have a Facebook group, but that's not where I'm sending you. This community is off. It's off Facebook, and it's going to be something that allows us to do more interaction. I like Facebook. I think it's great, but there's enough communities on there. And of course, you get the coaching. We have group coaching calls and exclusive trainings that are not posted and won't be shared. This is going to be you live with me handling business. So, who wasn't Perfect by Design created for? Because if you're not here, it's no accident. The secret to life is being exactly where you need to be when you need to be there. You are driven to grow your brand or your business. If you're active on social media, maybe a micro influencer, maybe you're a professional in transition or thinking about being in transition. If you have no existing offer, but you're an expert, creative, multi passionate, maybe you have an existing service, you coach, you consult, or you're a freelancer. Maybe you have an audience, small or large, to be a speaker, a podcaster, a YouTuber. You have some content, you're a blog, you author, you write books, or you're a YouTuber podcaster. What you're getting is Imperfect by Design, which what I did was I've taken about 30 or 40 courses over, the span of these last 20 years. Maybe out of those 30 courses, I've taken about 25 of them in the last 2 years. I've read probably 50 or so, which is not a lot, entrepreneurial, business minded books. And so I've taken 7 courses that I've wanted to teach and put them into one because I want to make sure that there's an immense amount of value. Not to mention the fact that this is just a part of what I offer. This is just the baseline. So when you invest today, you're also going to get a WordPress website and hosting. I give you this because you may need it. If you don't need it, it's okay. It's good to put a one-page website up or start your funnel, but it's there for you in case you need it. With free access to WordPress, you can have your website and funnel and course set up within days. That's the goal of that. So you're going to get the Imperfect by Design, which is a $12,000 value. It's 7 courses in one, and 12 months free of WordPress, plus your domain name. You'll also get the T.R.U.E webinars, which is a $497 value. It's the made me over 140,000 in sales. Webinars are one of the best ways to sell your courses. Email conversion rates are 1 to 3%, whereas webinars can convert as high as 30. And that's because when you're in a webinar, you're interacting with people. You're dealing with me. You hear me. You can get my personality off of my voice. You know if I'm someone that you want to deal with. You know me. You get to learn me. And because we get to learn each other, that's what happens. Webinars are powerful. You're going to learn how to create your own. You're also going to get a 7-day email list builder. With this course being so long, this part of it, I'm going to give it to you. We're also going to have, within one of the weeks, I'm going to give you a course on it. So you're going to get the builder, which is like a PDF, but I understand people don't like PDFs. So we're going to be able to build your email list from 0 to 100 people in 7 days. I'm going to show you how to do that quickly, easily, and effectively. So you got Imperfect by Design, WordPress hosting, and a domain name, the T.R.U.E webinars, and your email list building. That's a value of $13,443. So if Imperfect by Design helped you create a $500 or more offer in just 7 days, build your audience out of the right people so you can continue growing sales month after month, get daily access to me as your business coach and, of course, accountability coach without needing a pimped out website, posting on social media daily, or thousands of followers at first, do you think it would be worth $13,443? Raise your hand if you're saying yes. Yes, yes, yes. If Imperfect by Design helped you, never be the same again. Now, I don't believe that people change. I believe that people adjust. So when I say this, what I'm saying is that you are going to be you. You're just going to grow. You're going to be that seed that has been under the ground for so long, waiting to pop out because now you're being watered and the sun is reaching your soil. You have been induced with nutrients. That's the passion. You have someone guiding you and holding your hand. We're going to launch, create, and grow your empire because we're going to help you find your comfort zone and then we're going to make you uncomfortable, all while being exactly who you are. And to get you out of your shell and off the couch or out of that job you hate. Shed yourself of all the unnecessary stresses. And yeah, of course, the money's going to be great, but more importantly, your life will be even greater. Your purpose fulfilled, and you can actually really be happy. Would that be worth $13,443? Raise your hand if you're saying yes. So your price today, of course, would never, ever, ever be $13,443. Your price today is going to be $1,497. And if that is, hard to do at once, we do have a 7-payment program of $287. With the 7-payment program, the only difference is your content is dripped over the time. The sooner you pay it up, the sooner you get it. But that's okay because, you're going to be able to still have access. And access is key. Okay. You also have a 60-day guarantee. If you join Imperfect by Design, watch all the lessons, participate in the Q&A calls, complete and document your action steps, then you will launch your MVP profitably in 60 days. Or I give you your money back because that means that I didn't do something right. That means that it wasn't time and it didn't work out well. And I'm perfectly okay with doing that because I don't like to fail anyone. I will gladly give it back to you. When you enroll right now, you get a live in-person 3-day experience with me. It's going to be in April 2019, And this offer is limited to the first 100 people. And then the first 25 people will get automatic VIP upgrade. What happens is this venue is always sells out. And while I do want to give it away because I want to motivate many, I do have to realize that this venue is expensive and it takes a lot of work and effort and team. And so I'm going to give it to 100 people. And 25 people will get the automatic VIP upgrade. But that's as many people as I can give because I have to limit this. I have to make sure that who I work with doesn't get overwhelmed. So you're going to get Imperfect by Design, 1 year WordPress plus hosting, plus a domain name, T.R.U.E webinars, your 7-day email list builder, and a live in-person 3-day experience, which the regular price is $7.99. The VIP price is $12.99. So your regular price with value is $14,242. And when you pay in full today, the first 50 people also get ignited. So you get your live session with me, set up your social media profile of choice, and create your true content. So we're going to get your true content already ready for you. There will be no content creation issues with this. You're going to get ignited. This is going to get you started in 7 days or less. Your live session with me will implement for you the system that grew my social media followers and made me over 55,000 in 3 months. As a result, you're going to find similar targeted accounts. You're going to set your social media accounts up, optimize your bio, and create 4 pieces of true content. And of course, this has to be limited to the first 50 people just because of time constraints. When you join today, you also get the 100K business launch breakdown. You get the exact launch timeline, email, ads, and strategies to get 100K in a year. This is free. It's also a one, only while we're going through the lessons. So let's recap. What you're getting is Imperfect by Design. It's a $12,000 value. WordPress plus hosting plus a domain name, $797 value. The T.R.U.E webinar formula, $497 value. Your 7-day email list builder is $149 value. The 100K a year business launch breakdown is a $197 value. The in-person 3-day experience is a $799 value at base. And your live session with me is a $450 value. And that's a $14,889 value that you're getting. Now, the fast action bonus ends when I stop speaking. But you can get started today for $287. So why did you come here today? Imagine if your content and expertise are making you 6 figures in a scalable and predictable way that doesn't require 90-hour work weeks. Imagine that you have all your dream clients that you ever wanted, and you're even able to turn some away. You don't have to worry about growing to 50,000 followers because you're already recognized as an influencer and respected as the go-to person in your niche. I want you to stop imagining and start designing your plan for your purpose and your passion to create your profits. Enjoying amazing views on rooftop terraces while earning thousands of dollars passively. So what makes Imperfect by Design different? 7 years of helping thousands create their brands, proven strategies and tactics, focusing on profitability and taking action that impacts your bottom line, in-depth feedback from my team and I, accountability, progression, and consistency. All right, so here's my $1,000 mistake. I got stuck in what people call course purgatory. You're stuck in this limbo and you can't get off the fence. And so I didn't partner with anyone. I went and tried to do it alone. And so instead of making $100,000 that year, I think I made 20. And I was unable to scale up and do anything because I didn't add anybody to my life. I didn't grow in any way. I just got more information and thought that more I learned, the more I would do, but I wasn't ready. There was nothing going on. And so I was stagnant and stuck. But overall, Imperfect by Design is really about helping you uncover your identity, deep diving into your niche, choosing a unique client, and packaging it into a digital course, program, or service that you can use to reach and teach people all over the world and fulfill your why. Your options are simple. You can keep going it alone, endless hours of research and guesswork and posting desperately in groups and online and paying money to hire expensive designers or developers or watching another 6 months go by with no progress. Or you can join me. We can launch your offer, grow your brand, and dominate in your niche. And I'm going to tell you to do it now because sometimes later becomes never. So now at the bottom or to the side, depending on how you're watching this webinar, there should be a link that clicks for you to join Imperfect by Design. You should be able to do that and it takes you to the course page. If you for some reason have an issue or a problem, please email me imperfectbydesign at shamikabennett@gmail.com. I will send you a private invoice. You won't lose any bonuses or benefits. Just let me know when you watch this, and I will make sure that you get everything that you need if for some reason something doesn't work. But join now. It's $1,497 one time or 7 payments of $285. Now the list price goes back up to $24.97, and it will do that once we reach our goal. Once I have the people that are ready to join. So let's recap. You got Imperfect by Design. You got WordPress plus hosting plus a domain. You got your T.R.U.E webinar formula, your 7-day email list builder, your $100,000 a year business launch breakdown, your live in-person 3-day experience, and your personal one-on-one live session with me for $14.97 or 7 payments of 28, or 7 payments of $285. Your total value is $14,889. And to be honest, it's probably more than that because what's going to happen is you're going to make the value within months. Forget the cost, the course cost. A lot of people focus on the wrong part. Their perspectives come in incorrectly. They're worried about what they're spending and not about what they're getting. We are going to spend money. Think about it. If you are going to go out to dinner, you're going to spend $100 and you're going to eat that dinner one time. And I'm being very, very modest with that $100. My son came to me the other day. His female friend, she is an artist. She draws. That is her passion. She loves it. And it was her birthday, and he needed to buy her something. And so, last year they went to dinner and it cost about, $30. And I told him, I was like, why would you do that? What is it that she loves? And so we talked about it. What is it that will make her more than happy? And we came up with, he had to think about it because even though people say it to us, they tell us what makes us happy. We put a value on someone else's happiness. So she wanted some markers. So, he goes, there's some markers. They're Copic. And I'm like, okay, cool. What's that? Because I'm not an artist, so I don't know what that is. And he goes, well, you can get 3 markers for $30. And I'm like, what? $30 for 3 markers. But then I had to, he's like, no, we're not going to do that. I'm just going to take her to eat. And I'm like, you're going to take $30 and you're going to go eat one time. How long will she be able to use those markers? And so what wound up happening is, of course, we got her the $30 markers. And she was ecstatic, more happy than going to eat. Because going to eat is a one-time thing. And we do it. We spend our money what we feel like is frugally. We want to hold on tight. But think about it. Let's use tax money. I have a lot of people wait till tax time to join. They let me do their taxes, and then I give them a discount on the course, on the software. They learn how to, whatever. So they get their tax money and they buy it. But what happens? You get your tax money, right? And we have, let's just say $2,000, and we give it to, if you're in the South, your Duke Power and your Piedmont Gas, or if you're in the North, Con Edison or PSE&G, they get your money. You paid for your lights, and there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with handling your business. However, you're never going to see that money again. That money is not going to multiply for you or create something phenomenal for you. But we do it because we feel like that's what's supposed to happen. There is a concept on paying yourself first, educating yourself first. And I think we all tend to miss that because we look at how much, but we are perfectly fine with going to college. And now I'm not knocking college. I have 2 college degrees, but I want you to do something today that your future self will thank you for. $1,500 is the cost of one college credit, maybe two if you go to maybe a community college or something in the South. I'm not sure. You're going to go spend 60 grand on a college education that's just meant to get you a job that's going to pay you 50 grand over time. But people won't spend $1,500 for a course that can make them 50 grand within the next year. Okay, get started now. I'm about to end my speech and all this ranting that I'm doing. This is what it is. I tell you to do it now. Join now, join now, join now. At the end of the day, I want you to be happy. I want your purchases and the choices that you make to mean everything to you because it is your money. It is your purchases. It is all about you and making you happy. And even if you don't, I want you to utilize what I've given you today because you can do this. I'll never want to tell someone that they can't do it themselves because that would not be true. You can do it yourself. It just sometimes takes longer and it has a larger learning curve. That's really it. You may lose more than $1,500 in traffic and targeting and time. People don't ever seem to put the value in their time. How much time is it going to take you to get it right? All right, so I'm signing off. Join Imperfect by Design today. Click the button below or to the left or to the right, wherever it's listed at right now. Always, always, always stay boss built. Keep your mental mind frame in a place that whether you are at work or whether you are at home or whether you are out and you're just functioning throughout your life, that your mental mind state is always on a positive wavelength. You determine what happens to you, how it happens to you, and eventually when, why, and what happens. What you believe and what you think and what you desire and what you want matter. The thoughts that come into your brain, the ones that you dismiss and the ones that you accept are all important. Don't ever, ever, ever diminish yourself. Perfection is paralysis. It will keep you stuck. I'd rather you go out and fail 100 times, but have failed forward than to never fail at all and find yourself 10 years from now with no product, no service, still working at the job you hate or doing something that you love, but not making the money that you deserve. So I'm signing out. Have a great day. Have a great life. And hopefully, I'll see you on the other side. Stay boss built. Be imperfect by design and get rid of perfection paralysis. Peace.